Alright, here we are for stage 3 of this month's race, Neokyo Nights. This is on the Railways and Rooftops route in Neokyo. 2 laps with a little bit of a lead in. So far all the routes this month have been pretty flat. Today we got some climbing. When we go up onto the rooftops, it's about a 3 to 4 minute effort, depending on how hard you push and draft effect and all that stuff. 3 to 4 minute climb, and it'll happen on each lap. Nothing too bad, but we'll see how hard the group pushes up the climb. It's not a straight climb. There's a couple sections where it briefly levels off or even goes slightly downhill. But for all intents and purposes, the whole climb is one solid effort. It ramps up as much as 7% gradient, but not more than that. You'll see mostly 3, 4, 5% gradient throughout the little climby bits. And then there's a nice little downhill afterwards. So our power-ups today are the draft, the feather, and the anvil. We don't see the anvil very often, but essentially makes you heavier, so you can descend quicker. So good to use that on the downhill section to speed up. But yeah, we're doing that twice. There's a tiny little hill on the lead-in before we get to the start of the first lap. I think that thing hits 5% gradient. Well, we definitely have over 100 people. This route will not suit heavier riders as much as the last 2. So I wonder if that's playing in effect the amount of people that we have. Some people will actively avoid races that have any substantial climbing. But it is also a holiday week. Thanksgiving is in 2 days. So people are probably busy and traveling too. But again, this time slot here on Tuesday is generally pretty full. Because I think in Europe, it's like after working hours. So I guess people come home and they're available to hop on Zwift. It's midday here for me. A little cold in the basement. It's like 42 degrees out right now. But it's all good. Alright, I'm not sure what to expect today. What kind of watts am I going to have to hold up the climb to keep with the front group? I should be able to do it though, on paper. My watts per kilo, my 5-minute power, I should be able to stick with the front group definitely the first time, and I should be able to do it the second time. And we gotta remember, hopefully people are tired by the second one. It may not push as hard as on the first one. So the first one is probably more crucial to put out whatever watts are necessary to stay with the front. So here we go. Wish me luck. Here's a little climb, little hill in the lead-in. This marks the actual start of the laps. So that'll be the start-finish line. Well, I should say the lap finish line. And then down here we'll get our first power up at the sprint gate. Okay, these two, what do you call them, girders with lights, that signifies when we start going into the rooftop climb. So we turn left, and then right after this right, now it's happening. All right, front group. Now I just have to hold on. Now we just gotta do that climb again. All right, let's see what I have. versus what everyone else has for this final climb. I don't need to go too hard. I just need to survive. Come on. Well, that's not helpful. Oh. I don't have it. Come on. Oh man. Okay. All right. Well, that was something. All right. Well, pluses and minuses again. Big plus. Kept to that front group on the first climb. A couple months ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that, even on the first climb. Plus and minus. I held on a decent amount on the second climb. My legs were really starting to burn by the end, so I opted to shift one gear easier, try to do an even faster pedal spin to take some of the load off the muscles, reduce some of the burn, and just spin really fast. But in the shifting, I fell back a little bit and I wasn't able to exactly match the power I was putting out before I shifted, and so I did fall back a bit in spaces. I did shift back to the gear I was originally in to try and kick back up, but then my legs were like, no, I don't want to do this, and I started losing power. So I was very close. There wasn't that much more left, probably less than a minute left. I should have just stayed in the gear and fought through the burn. I probably could have held out to the end of the climb if I did that. But I took a risk. I thought I'd be able to have a renewed sense of energy if I went one gear easier and just spin faster. But it was harder to match the watts I needed at that RPM, especially with how tired I was. I mean, if I spun over 100 RPM, I probably could have done it, but I don't think I had that in me. So the plus to that is, you know, after sticking with the very front on the first climb, hanging with the front group till the second climb, and making it, 2/3, 3/4 of the way up with the front, that's definitely something I could not have done a few months ago. I've never been a good climber. My sustained power has never been great. And part of that was when I was heavier, 190 pounds, 200 pounds. On those climbs, I would have had to have done over 400 watts to keep with the front group at that weight. And with my FTP, I can't hold 400 for that long. So I'd always get dropped. Even when my legs were fresh, I could hold for a bit, a minute or two, and then I'd blow up. Now, my weight's down to 178, and now I'm starting to get an advantage on the climbs. Obviously, people who are like 160, 165 pounds are gonna climb better than me, but I'm starting to have my weight at my FTP to make me pretty competitive, at least in C category. In B, I doubt it. Still people lighter than me with even higher FTPs than me. So in the scheme of the race, I didn't do awful. I was in top third? More than that. Better than that. Top 25%? Top 20%? I don't remember. Somewhere in that area. So race-wise, not terrible. Out of the 138 people, I think it was, I got 36th, 34th, somewhere in there. I probably wouldn't have gotten much higher if I stayed with the group. If I managed to stay with the group on the second climb through the end, I probably wouldn't have gotten much higher because I would have still been pretty gassed. And then trying to hang with the group till the finish, I probably would have been at the back. And I was, with a group, the first, group of people after the front group. I think there was one guy in front of me, and then there was the front group. And then I got picked up by those three guys that came up behind me. And then I just killed them all in the sprint. So, I kept the same place I had at the top of the climb. So I might have done a couple of spaces better at the end because I do still have a sprint. I probably would have gained a few spots, but I don't think I would have gotten top 10. Could have maybe done top 20. So all in all, not bad. I used that draft at the wrong time on the climb. I should have used... I misread the mini-map where the climb banner was. So as I came around that one turn, I thought that it was coming up. So I hit the draft. I forgot there was one more left turn before getting to it. That's where I wanted to do it. So then I'd even have some draft effect going through the banner into the downhill. That's what I wanted. And then if I got like an anvil power up, then I would have used that. And then it would have been really easy to have caught up to the front group and stay with the front group. That was my plan because I knew I was dying. I was like, I'm going to save this draft effect for right before that climb banner. So then I'd still have draft effect as I go on the downhill and can either catch up or easily stay with the group. But I did it too early. That was a mistake. I forgot there was another little bit before the banner. Oh well. Proud of myself in a lot of ways. I'm curious if I could have held on if I didn't try shifting to an easier gear. Because sometimes when you disturb the flow that you're in, it's worse. That's why a lot of people hate when you're climbing, and then you have a little descent, a small one before you gotta climb again, because it ruins your rhythm, the flow that you're in, and it's kind of hard to get back into that. So I was in a flow, but my muscles were starting to hurt, And I thought they were going to try and give out on me, so I made a decision to try and save my legs. But it was the wrong decision, and that's okay. We make wrong choices sometimes, and that's fine. You learn from them and try again. Because I could have just as easily stayed in that gear and then blew up before the finish anyways, or before the climb banner anyways, and would have been in the same spot. Who knows? But I should have just let myself go, see if I could challenge myself to just keep push through the pain in my legs, and seeing if I could have kept up. Because I was going pretty strong there till the end of that climb. All right. Well, I don't know if I'll get this video out before Thanksgiving. Between work and Thanksgiving Day. Maybe I can get it out Friday for y'all. So, since I likely won't see you before Thanksgiving, and you probably won't hear from me before Thanksgiving, I hope you all have a wonderful holiday and eat plenty of tasty food, and maybe you can get out riding. It's not too cold, or get on the trainer and burn off some of that Thanksgiving meal. All right, friends, I will catch you next time.